All right, we've got your water pump over here. And we'll pull the water pump cover, which is 8mm bolts. There is your water pump. Here's an O-ring here. You want to replace that, going back together. And there's your impeller. And this will spin. Could potentially spin when you do that, so just be careful you don't have your finger down in there. And then very carefully, this has got a gasket back here, an O-ring, and so kind of got to break that seal, pop it off there. All right. Got a good amount of that oil drained out of there. We'll pull these bolts while we're here. It's holding this cover on. And then this cover is ready to come off. But we won't, well, I guess we can't take that off now. Careful tapping on these so you don't break these posts off here. Got your cam gear, your balancer gear behind here. And we'll disassemble some of that. We've got a mess. There's your cam sprocket there, and that is a springed gear, so you kind of heard that snap there. You got springs in behind there. Might have to. Never had to use a puller on this, but we might have to use a puller to pull this. Got your oil pump here. We'll remove that. We've got Allens that go down in there. sure this is gonna reach like I need it to. Don't get a very good grip on it. I'm gonna give it a shot, but no, I'm gonna need a longer Allen for that. Now, if you have this motor turned correctly, you'll be able to get to all 4 of those Allens without turning that oil pump. Alright, that is all your oil pump bolts there. Make sure these are completely unthreaded. Alright, we've got to pull this other gear here. Now, what we're going to do is that same puller that we used here, we're going to use same puller we used for the flywheel, we're going to use here. And this, a lot of times you can get these off without. Kind of ridiculous we're having to use a puller on this. But I don't want to damage anything, so I'll need to get what we need to pull this. And then also this, if we can't get this off. Just got a little bit smaller bolts for this one here. Again, make sure these are threaded in good, so we don't damage those threads. And then you want this pulling out evenly. So you can put a little bit of pressure on it, kind of see where it's at. If you've got it pulling one way. All right. And that's as simple as that, not too hard. So you can always kind of feel it pop, and when it pops, that means it's out. You don't need to keep going, because ours actually, our puller, the pin on it was gonna hit the gear. We're going to have to turn that cam and make sure we can slide it out of there. All right, that gear is off there. So we've got both these gears off. And we've got a couple more of the Torx to pull these off that'll allow us to pull that cam out of there. That's out, and as long as our caps here aren't in our way, we'll be able to pull this out. But if we were to tip this upside down, those caps would probably just fall out. And you just kind of spin it back and forth, and you're able to pull that out just like that. And you can hear those caps dropping out the back. We've got one more gear to pull here for our crank. All right. Pull those out so we don't have to go searching for them. Pull this last gear here before we go to split it. There's our oil pump. It can come out now. Make sure we grab the other gears down in there. There's your oil pump there. And if you remember, that impeller sat on the end of that. And we'll get the puller out again. Might have to grab even longer bolts yet. Yep. I don't have a happy medium set here, so these are really long. I'll put this back on there. Same bolt we put on there for the stator. Pulling the flywheel off, I mean. And once again, make sure these are threaded on good. We're able just to pull that off of there just like that. You can see if I would have ran these bolts too far, it would have damaged that case. So just be careful pulling that